around ending the end of that road. That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff held talks with Putin earlier on Wednesday. The Kremlin described them as useful and constructive. But Putin and Zelensky have not met since December 2019, and they make no secret of their contempt for each other. The diplomatic maneuvers come days before a deadline by Trump for Russia to agree to peace in Ukraine or face new sanctions. Zelensky said Wednesday Washington's strong-arm tactic seemed to be yielding results.
It appears that Russia is now more inclined to consider a ceasefire. The pressure on them is working. But the main thing is to make sure they don't deceive anyone in the details, neither us nor the United States.
Media outlets have reported the Kremlin might propose a halt on airstrikes by Russia and Ukraine. That would offer relief to both sides. But it falls short of the full and immediate ceasefire that Ukraine and the US have been seeking for months. Since the two sides resumed direct peace talks in May, Russia has carried out its heaviest air attacks of the war, killing dozens in Kyiv. Trump last week called the Russian attacks disgusting. Meanwhile, Russian sources close to the Kremlin recently told Reuters that Putin is unlikely to bow to Trump's sanctions ultimatum because he believes he is winning the war and his military goals outweigh his desire to improve ties with the US.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Lovin'. Puppy Lovin' is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
Yukimi Nita is a rare thing in Japan. She's a fan of big American cars. The salon owner is on her second Jeep. She says she was worried the car wouldn't fit into Japanese roads and parking spots, but has got used to managing its bulk. However, cars like this remain a rare sight on Japanese roads, and that has Donald Trump riled. He's complained that Japan refuses to accept US cars while selling millions to American buyers. Chevy, Cadillac and Dodge combined sold barely more than 1,000 units in Japan last year. But Trump may be wrong to think it's trade barriers blocking sales. Christopher Richter is a senior research analyst at CLSA.
The American makers, really to sell more here, you'd have to make an investment here. And given that, this is one of the smaller major markets, and that the prospects of them selling a lot more are probably slim, I don't see any American makers really investing any money here to lift their sales presence in Japan.
Because the market in Japan is simply very different to the US. About a third of the vehicles sold in the country are so-called K cars, economical little autos optimized for Japan's narrow urban streets. Consumers tend to see American cars as oversized gas guzzlers that would be hard to live with. Even fans of US cars concede the point. Yumihito Yasue is the president of Jonan Jeep Petit, which sells used American autos.
In Japan, especially in Tokyo, parking lots are really small, aren't they? Some places even have mechanical parking systems where you put your car on an elevator, something unimaginable in the US. In those kind of places, cars of this size simply won't fit, so the parking situation is a major factor.
Yasue says import taxes and shipping costs certainly don't help, contributing to driving the final retail price higher. But even if those factors could be tackled, finding Japanese buyers for America's giant cars could prove a hard sell.
Toyota cut its full-year operating profit forecast by 16% on Thursday and expects a nearly $10 billion hit from US tariffs on imported cars. That's as the firm also grapples with higher material prices and a stronger yen. The world's biggest automaker cut its operating profit forecast for the financial year to the end of March to $21.7 billion. From the April to June first quarter, Toyota reported an operating profit of close to $8 billion. That was down from a year earlier, but above analyst estimates. Toyota's outlook highlights the pressure US tariffs are placing on Japanese automakers. That's despite a trade agreement between Tokyo and Washington offering potential relief. Under the bilateral deal agreed last month, Japanese auto exports to the US would face a 15% tariff. That's down from levies totaling 27.5% previously. But a time frame for the change to go into effect has yet to be announced. Last week, Toyota reported record global output and sales for the first half of the year. It's been driven by strong demand in North America, Japan and China.
Across the Northeast here, we continue to mainly stay underneath high-pressure system control. However, around this northern high, we still have some of that wildfire smoke wrapped into it, leading to still more of those milky, hazy skies, especially across New York into New England. We also note that we still have some areas here developing some of that rain shower activity out of Virginia. They're just clipping Virginia Beach coastline, and then we have some afternoon rumbles in some higher elevations of New York. But outside of that, high pressure system control is something that is going to stay strong. Again, with the rogue rumbles here today, note that it is fairly isolated, but if you hear thunder roar, head indoors. As we head into tomorrow, though, that thunder threat is going to diminish, and we will see that we are talking some abundant sunshine for the weekend ahead. However, as we get into even that Saturday forecast, we're starting to see the climb in the temperatures as some 90s will be back on the board into next week.
Well, a mix of sun and clouds for your Thursday, and hazy, but not too bad. Temperatures in the low 80s for a high. Partly cloudy skies tonight with lows in the low 60s. Friday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Saturday, mostly sunny, mid 80s. Sunday, sunshine, a high of 90. And Monday, mostly sunny with temperatures around 90 degrees. Area temperatures this morning, Meadville checking in at 60 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 61. Titusville, 57. Franklin this morning, 57. Oil City, 57 degrees. Here at 7:14. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Waking up with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill. Waking up with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill. Waking up with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Getting closer to the weekend, huh? How about this forecast? Absolutely incredible. There was that kind of a threat of thunderstorms yesterday, like a low, but
fun.
I mean, like real quick, but I didn't see any or experience any. Did you?
No,
And we were all over the county yesterday. We were.
You were, yeah.
Out
You were
and about.
traveling.
I know. Oh man.
You're paying for it today.
I am paying for it. I was paying for it last night. My leg. I'm not going to rehash the story of the sprain from Sunday, but yeah, I spent a little too much time on it yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know where your cane went.
It's in the car.
Oh.
I didn't get it. I haven't been using the cane. Like I'm trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody keeps saying you got to kind of work it. So I'm trying to work the problem without overdoing it, but I overdid it yesterday.
Yeah.
So my one leg looked like Superman versus something else. No, it was like really like people. We were out last night. You were putting on a fundraiser, and so I was out last night. And everybody well, it doesn't help when you're like, hey, when Luke comes in.
It's so funny. It was great.
No, everybody's like, as soon as I walked in, everybody turns and looks at my leg.
Yeah. It was awesome.
No, it's not. It's not a big deal.
It's funny.
But yeah, and then of course you know as everybody's kind of joking with you about it, you realize okay, some of these aren't jokes. Like the one guy, a friend of ours, was like, "Hey, your leg's pretty swollen." Where yesterday morning I think it was isolated to one spot. Now it's the whole leg.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyhow, you're having fun with this.
So much fun.
And I'm in pain.
So here's the thing. I'm usually the one who is injured or it's just my gift. It's never you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun when it's you.
Well, we got a list for you here this morning. The 20 most stolen cars. Pickup trucks and other pricey or powerful models were frequently stolen and appear on the list of the top 20 vehicles with the highest claim frequencies for entire vehicle theft, according to the report. Yeah. So if we go into this thing, the Chevy Camaro ZL1 is like at the top of the list of most stolen cars.
Really?
Yeah. The Acura TLZ four-wheel drive is next on the list. Chevy Camaro. GMC Sierra 2500 crew cab four-wheel drive. But people are specific with their vehicles.
Yeah.
That's on the list of 20 most stolen cars. The Acura TLX two-wheel drive on that list. GMC Sierra 3500 crew cab four-wheel drive on the list. Again, these are the list, the top 20 most stolen cars. Chevrolet Silverado 3500 crew cab four-wheel drive. Dodge Durango four-wheel drive is on the list. Land Rover Range Rover four-wheel drive. Ram 1500 crew cab short wheelbase four-wheel drive. Chevrolet Silverado 2500 crew cab four-wheel drive. Ram 3500 crew cab long wheelbase four-wheel drive. It sounds like a lot of repeats, but there's variations in these, right? The Honda CR-V hybrid four-wheel drive is on the list of most stolen. GMC Sierra 1500 crew cab two-wheel drive. Dodge Durango two-wheel drive. GMC Sierra 1500 crew cab four-wheel drive. BMW X7 four-wheel drive large luxury SUV on the list. Mercedes-Benz S-Class long wheelbase four-wheel drive. Jeep Gladiator crew cab convertible four-wheel drive is on the list. And the Cadillac Escalade ESV four-wheel drive on the list of the 20 most stolen vehicles. Now, there's also a list of the 20 least frequently stolen vehicles. Okay? So no one's touching these. Tesla Model 3 four-wheel drive. Tesla Model Y four-wheel drive. Tesla Model 3 two-wheel drive. Toyota RAV4 Prime four-wheel drive. Tesla Model S four-wheel drive. Volvo XC90 four-wheel drive. Volvo XC40, man, that's on there twice. Ford Mustang Mach-E on the list of least stolen. Volkswagen ID4. Subaru Crosstrek four-wheel drive with eyesight on the list. Lexus NX 350 four-wheel drive. Ford Explorer on the list of least stolen. Infiniti QX60 four-wheel drive. The Kia EV6 four-wheel drive BMW iX four-wheel drive That's a lot. That's a mouthful there. Mini Cooper, the Venza hybrid 4-wheel drive, Mercedes-Benz, Volvo XC90 plug-in 4-wheel drive, and the Hyundai Elantra hybrid on the list.
So here's here's what I'm seeing in my brain between the two lists. Most stolen versus lease. I have a weird feeling that the lease stolen have a different security system or are more difficult to get into.
Could be.
Because that list at the end there, we're not talking about like, cheap, unwanted cars. We're talking about some pretty pricey, high-end cars. So I'm going to assume that their security systems or, anti-theft measures are probably a lot better than the first group.
Sure.
That's what I'm going to go
That's good. Yeah, go with that.
Listen, a few weeks ago, our son's girlfriend got her keys locked. Like, she locked her keys in the car. And she had her car set up for an anti-theft package because she was living somewhere where she needed it. So when we had to have the AAA come and try to get in her car, he's like, this is the most difficult, this is impossible to get into. She goes, I have this anti-theft. He's like, but it took forever, but we got in. But anyways, I have a weird feeling that these cars on the least stolen list are falling in the category of having those packages. So that's just my feeling.
Okay.
I know I'm not going to read the article, but, thanks for sharing.
Yeah. You want, again, maybe your car's on the list, right?
Yeah.
Most stolen, least stolen?
Yeah.
If it's on the, I don't know. Could be bad if you're on either list, maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe.
We'll just keep piling on here. Craving French fries? Dunking your spuds in deep fryer might be a recipe for elevating your risk of type 2 diabetes.
Shocker.
But it doesn't stop you from not you, but it doesn't stop
most people
from eating them.
Right.
Myself included.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who doesn't like a good French fry? Although we were at a place last night, I was kind of disappointed. Not that it was part of my meal, but somebody said they were out of the baked potatoes.
Yeah.
Like they sold out.
Yeah. They sold out a lot of things.
That sounds really good. We were at a festival Saturday where a booth had loaded baked potatoes.
Yeah.
And that's what I really wanted and never had time to go get one. Because they're huge.
Yeah.
Huge baked potatoes.
Spuds.
Oh my gosh, they're so good. Well, according to a study published Wednesday in the journal BMJ, swapping out your weekly dose of French fries for boiled, baked, or mashed potatoes could lower your risk of type 2 diabetes. The authors examined the diets of more than 205,000 adults in the U.S. who responded to questionnaires about what they ate over nearly 4 decades. Among those who consume potatoes, the authors looked at which people develop type 2 diabetes, a disease that leads to persistently high blood sugar levels. Eating 3 weekly servings of French fries, they found, was associated with a 20% increased risk of type 2 diabetes, but consuming the same amount of boiled, baked, or mashed potatoes did not appear to be linked to the disease. So, the vast majority of the 1 in 10 people with diabetes in the U.S. have type 2, the condition that can increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, or kidney damage. The findings underscore the way foods are prepared is key to the overall health risks or benefits. So,
all right.
I don't know if you're offered fries or baked or mashed potatoes.
Choose wisely.
Yeah. Okay. It is the. Boy, I was really confused this morning. It's the 7th day of August.
It is.
For some reason, I kept mixing up the 7 and the 8, thinking, okay, it's July 8th. No, it's August 7th.
It was just July 8th. Doesn't it feel like that?
It feels like it was just the 4th of July.
It's crazy. All right.
And now that seemed like it was a long time ago. All right. 7th day of August. Who's celebrating a birthday today?
All right. Actor Wayne Knight turned 70.
Newman.
Yep. Actor David Duchovny turned 65.
X-Files.
Actress Charlize Theron is 50. Actress Francesca Eastwood turns 32. And actor Liam James turns 29.
All right, happy birthday to them. And happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us here this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, go out and have a great day. Enjoy every moment of it, right? Have a great birthday year.
Enjoy the sunshine.
All right, from birthdays to what we're celebrating here this morning.
All right, it is Aged Care Employee Day, Battle of Boyaca, Cycle to Work Day, India Pale Ale Day, Ivory Coast Independence Day, National Lighthouse Day, National Raspberries and Cream Day, National Sea Serpent Day, I can't even say it, Particularly Preposterous Packaging Day, Professional Speakers Day, Purple Heart Day, Brecon Jazz Festival, and that's all.
Okay. So it's just Lighthouse Day?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Are you going to play the song?
No, if it was Lighthouse Keeper.
Yeah, it's National Lighthouse Day.
Right. I want to marry a lighthouse keeper and keep him company.
I knew that was
I want to marry a lighthouse keeper and live by the side of the sea.
Go for it.
We kind of need to be. We've last February, this past February, we visited a lighthouse. Got to. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
How many steps do you remember?
I don't remember.
It was over 200, right?
There were a lot. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Let me Google that.
A lot of steps. But we went to the top and got to walk around at night. It was absolutely beautiful.
It was, well worth it.
Yeah. And boy, there were people that stayed here at one time. It was really cool. Kelly Clarkson, in case you were booking tickets to Vegas to see her, she is canceling her Las Vegas residency so she can support her children. How about this? You remember the store Claire's?
Yeah.
Did you go there much?
No.
Okay. Well,
but I do remember it.
Once a destination for tweens, files for bankruptcy for the second time in a decade.
I know they were in malls. And then
Yeah.
I didn't see them, and I saw one's in a Walmart around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so 219.
219 steps at the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There were people younger than us that couldn't get it all the way to the top.
Yeah.
So we were feeling pretty good about ourselves.
We did, yeah. We were getting cocky.
Well, no, not quite.
Yeah, anyways. 219.
Okay, 219 steps. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Anyhow, Claire's filing for bankruptcy protection there for the second time in a decade. So another story for you here this morning. Pirates losing. We'll have the sports report coming up in just a moment. In case you didn't hear this yesterday, looks like SiriusXM might be dropping Howard Stern.
Oh, no.
Tired of paying the $500 million contract.
That's crazy.
So this Stephen Colbert fallout where companies are looking at their expenses going, enough's enough.
Yeah.
I don't know, we can get into it with athletes and stuff, but no official word from either side, but it sounds like SiriusXM might make an offer that they know Stern's going to turn down. So his contract expires this fall. But some more, I won't say fallout, but more companies questioning what they're paying out for some of the talent out there. All right, 7:30, your headlines are coming up next. Happy Thursday. This is the Morning Drill.
We'll see what happens over the next...
US President Donald Trump could meet his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, as soon as next week. That's according to a White House official Wednesday. This would be the first face-to-face meeting between a sitting US and Russian president since Russia launched its full-scale assault on Ukraine in 2022, the biggest attack on a European nation since the Second World War. Trump had reportedly told European leaders in a call Wednesday that he intended to meet with Putin, then follow up with a trilateral involving the Russian leader and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
We had some very good talks with President Putin today, and there's a very good chance that we could be ending the end of that road. That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff held talks with Putin earlier on Wednesday. The Kremlin described them as useful and constructive. But Putin and Zelensky have not met since December 2019, and they make no secret of their contempt for each other. The diplomatic maneuvers come days before a deadline by Trump for Russia to agree to peace in Ukraine or face new sanctions. Zelensky said Wednesday Washington's strong-arm tactic seemed to be yielding results.
It appears that Russia is now more inclined to consider a ceasefire. The pressure on them is working. But the main thing is to make sure they don't deceive anyone in the details, neither us nor the United States.
Media outlets have reported the Kremlin might propose a halt on airstrikes by Russia and Ukraine. That would offer relief to both sides. But it falls short of the full and immediate ceasefire that Ukraine and the US have been seeking for months. Since the two sides resumed direct peace talks in May, Russia has carried out its heaviest air attacks of the war, killing dozens in Kyiv. Trump last week called the Russian attacks disgusting. Meanwhile, Russian sources close to the Kremlin recently told Reuters that Putin is unlikely to bow to Trump's sanctions ultimatum because he believes he is winning the war and his military goals outweigh his desire to improve ties with the US.
Swooping in to save you over 11 grand off your next Chevy truck. It's Community Chevrolet's newest mascot, Independence Dog.
Getting you approved by day, fighting crime by night.
With Independence Day savings running all month long, you can save more than 11 grand off MSRP on a new Silverado, or save nearly 3 grand on hot new SUVs like the Trailblazer and the Equinox. Follow Independence Dog to explosive savings this month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
This is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America.
U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Wednesday that Apple will spend another $100 billion in U.S. investments, with CEO Tim Cook standing by his side in the Oval Office.
The company is also unveiling its ambitious new American manufacturing program, which will bring factories and assembly lines across our country all roaring to life. And Apple will massively increase spending on its domestic supply chain for the iPhone and will build the largest and most sophisticated smart glass production line in the world.
The move brings the technology giant's total investment commitment to the country to $600 billion over the next 4 years.
American innovation is central to everything we do. Our products are designed here, we're hiring and growing here, and we support 450,000 jobs with thousands of suppliers and partners in all 50 states.
The decision comes as Trump pursues an aggressive tariff and trade agenda aimed at moving some manufacturing back into the United States. But it could take decades to set up the kind of production capabilities in the U.S. that currently exist overseas. if it's even possible at all, says Craig Moffett, founding partner and senior research analyst at MoffettNathanson.
It's certainly not realistic to think that they can start making iPhones in the United States. You know, I will offer what I think is a really telling example, which is about a year ago when they were ramping up production of the iPhone 16 Pro. They needed to increase production in China. In the span of less than a month, they were able to add 50,000 employees at the rate of about $3 per hour in order to ramp up production. They were able to do that in literally about 2 weeks. There's simply no possibility that you could do something like that in the United States at any price.
Apple said the new investment will include an expansion of its partnership with Corning that will lead to the production of glass in the U.S. for every iPhone and Apple Watch sold around the world. The technology giant said in February it would spend $500 billion in U.S. investments for a massive factory in Texas for artificial intelligence servers, while adding about 20,000 research and development jobs across the country. Apple has also been shifting production of its devices bound for the U.S., sourcing iPhones from India and other products such as Macs and Apple Watches from Vietnam. Shares of Apple closed up 5% on Wednesday.
United Airlines flights at U.S. airports were briefly grounded on Wednesday. The company says it has now fixed the tech issue that caused it. In a statement, United said, quote, "We've resolved technology issues that have been affecting flights. While we're still experiencing delays, our team is working to restore our normal operations." The issue came weeks after Alaska Airlines grounded flights for 3 hours in its second IT outage in just over a year. According to the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, the hours-long outage caused ground stops at major United Hub airports, including Newark, Denver, Houston, and Chicago. Flight tracking data service FlightAware showed 34% of United flights had been delayed by the incident as of late Wednesday evening on the U.S. East Coast. United said the issue was with its Unimatic system, which feeds flight data to systems for weight, balance, and tracking. It also said it would cover customer expenses like hotels for delays caused by the tech issue. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said in a post on X that the issue was limited to United and unrelated to air traffic control.
Yukimi Nita is a rare thing in Japan. She's a fan of big American cars. The salon owner is on her second Jeep. She says she was worried the car wouldn't fit into Japanese roads and parking spots, but has got used to managing its bulk. However, cars like this remain a rare sight on Japanese roads, and that has Donald Trump riled. He's complained that Japan refuses to accept US cars while selling millions to American buyers. Chevy, Cadillac and Dodge combined sold barely more than 1,000 units in Japan last year. But Trump may be wrong to think it's trade barriers blocking sales. Christopher Richter is a senior research analyst at CLSA.
The American makers, really to sell more here, you'd have to make an investment here. And given that, this is one of the smaller major markets, and that the prospects of them selling a lot more are probably slim, I don't see any American makers really investing any money here to lift their sales presence in Japan.
Because the market in Japan is simply very different to the US. About a third of the vehicles sold in the country are so-called K cars, economical little autos optimized for Japan's narrow urban streets. Consumers tend to see American cars as oversized gas guzzlers that would be hard to live with. Even fans of US cars concede the point. Yumihito Yasue is the president of Jonan Jeep Petit, which sells used American autos.
In Japan, especially in Tokyo, parking lots are really small, aren't they? Some places even have mechanical parking systems where you put your car on an elevator, something unimaginable in the US. In those kind of places, cars of this size simply won't fit, so the parking situation is a major factor.
Yasue says import taxes and shipping costs certainly don't help, contributing to driving the final retail price higher. But even if those factors could be tackled, finding Japanese buyers for America's giant cars could prove a hard sell.
Toyota cut its full-year operating profit forecast by 16% on Thursday and expects a nearly $10 billion hit from US tariffs on imported cars. That's as the firm also grapples with higher material prices and a stronger yen. The world's biggest automaker cut its operating profit forecast for the financial year to the end of March to $21.7 billion. From the April to June first quarter, Toyota reported an operating profit of close to $8 billion. That was down from a year earlier, but above analyst estimates. Toyota's outlook highlights the pressure US tariffs are placing on Japanese automakers. That's despite a trade agreement between Tokyo and Washington offering potential relief. Under the bilateral deal agreed last month, Japanese auto exports to the US would face a 15% tariff. That's down from levies totaling 27.5% previously. But a time frame for the change to go into effect has yet to be announced. Last week, Toyota reported record global output and sales for the first half of the year. It's been driven by strong demand in North America, Japan and China.
General Motors and Hyundai are joining forces to battle mounting competition from Chinese rivals. The pair said Wednesday that they would develop 5 vehicles together. 4 will be targeted at markets in Central and South America, where Chinese brands have been gaining ground. The other one will be an electric van for the North American market. For GM, the deal offers access to hybrid technology that it has lacked. For South Korean Hyundai, it's a first-ever partnership on vehicle development and offers a way into new markets, including American vans. The two companies didn't say where the models will be made. Hyundai already has a factory in Alabama and has promised to ramp up output at another plant in Georgia. It also has a factory in Brazil that could be used. The tie-up comes as Chinese brands release a slew of low-priced, high-tech models, pressuring legacy names like GM to cut costs in return. Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs have also added billions in costs, increasing pressure to take action. South Korea last week agreed to a 15% levy on its exports to the US as part of a deal with Washington.
President Donald Trump said on Wednesday the United States will impose a tariff of about 100% on semiconductor chips imported from countries not producing in America or planning to do so. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office the new tariff rate would apply to, quote, all chips and semiconductors coming into the United States. However, he said it would not apply to companies that had made a commitment to manufacture in the United States or were in the process of doing so.
If you're building, there will be no charge. So I just want everyone to know that. And I didn't even tell you that inside. We discussed the concept, but I didn't. So it's a big factor.
It is not clear how many chips or from which country would be impacted by the new levy. Taiwanese chip contract manufacturer TSMC, which supplies most U.S. companies, has factories in the country. So its big customers, such as NVIDIA, are not likely to face increased tariff costs. An NVIDIA spokesperson declined Reuters' request for comment. Any chip tariffs would likely target China, with whom Washington is still negotiating a trade deal. Chip-making nations South Korea and Japan, as well as the European Union, have reached trade deals with the U.S., potentially giving them an advantage. The EU said it agreed to a single 15% tariff rate for the vast majority of EU exports, which includes chips. South Korea and Japan said separately that the U.S. agreed not to give them worse tariff rates than other countries on chips, suggesting a 15% levy as well.
Sony raised its full-year operating profit forecast on Thursday. It now sees a rise of 4% to reach just over $9 billion. The Japanese tech giant expects a smaller impact from President Trump's trade war than previously thought. Sony projects a tariff hit of just under $477 million, well down from an estimate of $680 million it made in May. The company said the new numbers are based on tariff rates as of August, but cautioned the situation was still fluid. Sony also said it sees a stronger profit outlook at its games business. The group reported a 36.5% rise in operating profit to $2.3 billion for the April-June quarter, well ahead of analyst forecasts. It sold 2.5 million PlayStation 5 game consoles in the first quarter, up 4% from a year earlier. Quarterly operating profit of the games business more than doubled to around $1 billion. It was due to higher sales of network services and games not made by Sony. Investors liked what they heard, and company shares jumped 5% in afternoon Asian trade.
Across the Northeast here, we continue to mainly stay underneath high-pressure system control. However, around this northern high, we still have some of that wildfire smoke wrapped into it, leading to still more of those milky, hazy skies, especially across New York into New England. We also note that we still have some areas here developing some of that rain shower activity out of Virginia. They're just clipping Virginia Beach coastline, and then we have some afternoon rumbles in some higher elevations of New York. But outside of that, high pressure system control is something that is going to stay strong. Again, with the rogue rumbles here today, note that it is fairly isolated, but if you hear thunder roar, head indoors. As we head into tomorrow, though, that thunder threat is going to diminish, and we will see that we are talking some abundant sunshine for the weekend ahead. However, as we get into even that Saturday forecast, we're starting to see the climb in the temperatures as some 90s will be back on the board into next week.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Mix of sun and clouds today with temperatures in the low 80s. Partly cloudy skies tonight and lows in the low 60s. Friday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Saturday, mostly sunny, mid-80s. Sunday, sunshine, a high of 90. And Monday, mostly sunny with temperatures around 90 degrees. Meadville at 65, Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh 63, Titusville 57, Franklin 59, Oil City 59 degrees here at 7:53. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Glad you're with us here on a Thursday morning, getting you up to date with everything going on in the world. And yeah, there's a lot happening. That big announcement from Apple. We'll see what that means. I think a lot of people understand that that kind of stuff probably is going to mean an increase in prices if things are done in the U.S., but it's kind of exciting to know that we're talking about manufacturing here at home, right? I know locally in our neck of the woods, that's a pretty big thing. And You've got a lot of great tool and die shops. You've got a lot of great businesses that are jumping up and down screaming, saying, we need people to work.
Yeah.
And it's not because they're just sitting around. It's because they're busy and they've got a lot of projects and a lot of clients and doing some really cool things. On the manufacturing side, we've got companies here in northwest Pennsylvania that are making things that are going in your vehicles, that are going into space. It's really cool. So, yeah, I don't know. A lot of excitement for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else? I was going to mention sports real quick. We had some of the sports headlines scroll past, but if we get into it, Bucco's not doing so well the last couple days. What?
This whole season.
Well, yeah, I know, but they get hot for like a little bit.
They give you like a glimmer of hope,
and that's it. Now they did beat the Giants Monday night 5-4. Last night they fell to the Giants 4-2. Orioles over the Phillies 5-1. Guardians beat the Mets 4-1. Twins over the Tigers. Cubs beat the Reds. Yankees over the Rangers. Blue Jays, Rays, Cardinals, Marlins, Nationals, Royals, Brewers, Padres, Mariners were all winners yesterday. Major League Baseball action today. You got the Nationals and A's at 12:05 this afternoon. Mariners and White Sox at 4:10. The Pirates back in Pittsburgh to host the Cincinnati Reds at 6:40. Braves and Marlins at 7:15 tonight. One thing you definitely want to hear, I know you're so excited about this, the preseason is here. Just waiting for the applause. NFL preseason is here tonight. You can catch the Ravens and Colts. I think that's on NFL Network. Eagles and Bengals at 7:30 tonight, and that's probably local TV there. You also have on NFL Network the Seahawks and Raiders following that Colts-Ravens preseason game. Now, Friday, here we go. Panthers and Browns in Carolina at 7 o'clock. NFL Network will have that one. Falcons hosting the Detroit Lions. Again, this is preseason. Patriots and Commanders Friday night. Bills hosting the Giants. Vikings hosting the Texans. The Jaguars hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Rams and Cowboys in Los Angeles. Buccaneers take on the Titans in Tampa Bay. Arizona will host the Cardinals Chiefs. Packers and Jets on NFL Network at 8 o'clock. 49ers and Broncos. Take that back. Go back just a couple games there. Some of these games now are on Saturday. Oh, it's saying Pittsburgh Saturday at 7. I thought they were playing Friday night. All right. Check your local listings. My apologies. I got ahead of myself. The Buffalo Giants game is listed as Saturday. Vikings-Texans Saturday. Jaguars-Steelers Saturday. Rams-Cowboys Saturday. Buccaneers-Titans Saturday night. Cardinals-Chiefs Saturday night. On also Saturday night, Packers hosting the Jets. 49ers and Broncos Saturday. Bears-Dolphins Sunday. And Chargers-Saints on Sunday. So, there you go. So, yeah. All right. Are you ready to go for this?
I just want to get through this week, and we can talk about...
Well, this is Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Date night? You, me, and the Steelers? Okay. That doesn't sound like fun at all for you?
Lord,
I
no.
thought you were kind of gearing up for it.
I'm not there yet.
Well, it's here. It's here. Mr. Sports will be with us tomorrow. He was talking about a lot of polls putting Penn State, number one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a poll
We are.
this morning where somebody disagrees and likes Penn State, but has put them not in that number one spot. So we'll see if Bruce brings that up tomorrow as we talk. Oh, boy. Pirates, Steelers, and some other things tomorrow on the program. We've got next hour all three Crawford County commissioners joining us. Either we did something wrong,
I know,
that all three
right?
have to be here.
Alternatives.
Right.
Yeah.
We're glad to have them. So looking forward to Mr. Seeley, Mr. Shell, and Mr. Henry joining us next hour. Tomorrow on the program, Christian Marr from the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation. We're just, a couple weeks out from Crawford Gives.
I know. It's exciting.
He is so determined. We need to hit $1 million. So, but wouldn't that be something?
It'd be
if this
awesome.
area raised $1 million for Crawford Gives. But that's coming up. You got the FedEx St. Jude Championship going on, second round today. So that's happening in the world of golf. All right. A lot of great things happening. Some good weather out there. So enjoy it. And we'll march on with the third hour of the program coming up. Great local programming continues on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Have a great Thursday.
Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Waking up with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill. Rise and shine, it's a brand new day.
Firefighters' efforts to contain France's biggest wildfire in almost 80 years dragged on into a third day on Thursday, which has so far ravaged over 37,000 acres in Aude, an area larger than Paris. The fire has claimed one life in Saint-Laurent-de-la-Cabrierise, destroyed at least 25 homes, and displaced residents and tourists. Prime Minister François Bayrou called the situation unprecedented as he visited the area.
It was very important for us to be there because the disaster is a disaster of unprecedented scale. It was very important because hundreds, thousands of people feel that their most precious possessions, their homes, their vineyards have been affected. Nearly 2,000 firefighters are battling the blaze, and officials say it is spreading rapidly at just over 3 miles per hour. Scientists say the Mediterranean region's hotter, drier summers increase the risk of wildfires. Nearby Spain is enduring a prolonged heat wave with temperatures reaching 43 degrees Celsius, fueling its own wildfires. In Tarifa, a blaze sparked by a caravan fire reignited because of gusty winds and high temperatures. Campsite owner Diego Rodriguez lost everything. All of my belongings were burnt, everything. I only have what I'm wearing. I don't have anything to go on. In Portugal, over 42,000 hectares have burned this year, with more than half of the damage occurring in the past 2 weeks. Once fires start, plentiful dry vegetation and strong winds in the region can cause them to spread rapidly and burn out of control. Scientists say climate change exacerbates this risk by creating hotter and drier background conditions.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh! Me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you. Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Joining us this morning, Kelly Gregg, Rhonda Clark from the Titusville Historical Society. Good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Oh, busy time of year.
Oh, boy. Very busy.
There's never a slow time of year, is there? It's always busy.
Maybe January, maybe.
Maybe, right? Well, give us just a real quick snapshot of what's been going on with the Historical Society and then what's going on this weekend and over the next couple of weeks. There's some big things happening.
Well, it's been a busy summer already. We've had History Camp, which we wrapped up a couple weeks ago, and we had the most kids that we've ever had participate.
Wow.
We had a blast. They were up in Woodlawn cleaning stones and doing all sorts of things and going to Tarbell, and they were at the Heritage Center with us, and they just had a great time. So that was a really great part of the summer.
That's wonderful. So some of the things they learned by doing that, I mean, like restoration, or was it just kind of understanding the history we have, or a little bit of everything?
It was a little bit of everything, especially with the stone cleaning. We found that that's one of the most popular things that we do with the kids because they feel like they really invested in something. Oh, wow. We heard from some of the parents that, oh yeah, we were driving past Woodlawn and my kid made us stop and took us up and showed us the stone that they'd worked on, and they're very proud of it, and they do, it's meaningful work. So.
Yeah, and speaking of Woodlawn, we have an ongoing project for cataloging that cemetery, so folks can go online to the website. We have a link from our website, TitusvilleHistoricalSociety.org, and there are all kinds of new images that are going up. There are over 9,000 burials at Woodlawn, and so we are working from the records side, which means that many of those that don't have a stone will have a record on that site. So people can, if they're not there, they can email us if they think somebody's there. But we're working really hard on that. I've got a lot of grad students who've been spending thousands of hours online doing digital work for that.
That's incredible. It's just the stories that could have been shared. I mean, when you look at that, it's just incredible. So that's camp, you said, that was taking place?
Yep, that was camp. That's Rhonda's
And we
project.
just have an ongoing project for cataloging. But down at the center, we have a lot going on. We hope people will stop by over this weekend. Right. We have all kinds of reformatting equipment. We got on a grant from Henny Reese Charitable Foundation, and it's been wonderful. We've been able, last weekend, we reformatted an old, around circa 1940s Super 8 movie of Canadota Lake.
Oh, wow.
People going down the slide, and all people can bring in their items, and we'll schedule a time. We'll show them the equipment and explain how it works and schedule a time to do their reformatting.
That's great.
And then on the exhibit gallery side, I think everybody's been talking about Jeannie Seeley passing away, and we have an exhibit for Jeannie up because she was here last summer. We got to meet her, talk to her, hear some of her stories. So we're going to hopefully have some of her music playing in the gallery along with our other exhibits that are there. And the last 2 years, I think we've had over 300 people come through during Oil Fest weekend. We'll see if we can break the record maybe for this year, and come and see us.
Well, the weather's going to be great. We've been talking about that. So hopefully everybody does come in and just wander around and visit everybody.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we have both a library there that's a research library with our digital equipment, oral history. Bring your grandma and grandpa, we'll sit them down and tape them.
Wow.
We've got oral history booth, sound equipment, video equipment, and can schedule a time to do that for families. And then we've got the gallery with all kinds of 3 different exhibits right now.
3 different exhibits.
It's crazy because some of my favorite memories, just sitting at the kitchen table with my grandmother and just playing board games and stuff and just listening to her stories. And even though they were repeated often, they were just my favorite stories to hear, and I didn't mind hearing them. And I would do anything. I was just getting into this, and there were times I thought, hey, maybe I should bring a camera down. But I didn't want her to feel, kind of weird about the situation. But I wish I would have taken something down to record it.
And oral history and treasuring those memories, it's not about a 3-hour tape. It literally is down to the 20-second sound bites. What we find is people want those 2 and 3 minutes desperately back.
Yeah.
So yes, bring your family members down. We can help you. And it's awkward at first, but there are techniques and there are ways to do it where it's very quickly, very normal. You just have to get someone to laugh, and then they're kind of back into themselves.
There you go. Yeah.
Tell their stories.
That's great. And then after Oil Fest weekend, what's coming up?
Well, that's not even all we have for Oil Fest weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really excited that this is the first year we are doing this for Oil Fest, but we are doing tours out at Woodlawn on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
So before you head to Brewfest or after the parade, 2 and 4 o'clock are our tour sessions. We're going to meet at the Driller statue. So if you're coming into Woodlawn, you can't miss that. And it's open to the public. You don't have to pre-register. We're doing it to hopefully fundraise for Woodlawn, for their nonprofit, but it is free. And we're really excited to offer that this year because it's a first for us.
And then, of course, Crawford Gives is coming up on the heels of that. So we have our own fundraising, which is super important for the Historical Society. We don't have a lot of membership money coming in because we have good members, but we charge a very nominal fee. For seniors, I think it's $10.
It's $5, I think, for seniors.
$5.
Oh, wow.
So you're not going to pay the light bill with that. So if the public would like to see us continue to collect and catalog and treasure the items from Titusville's past, we need money to pay our light bill. So that's coming up for Crawford Gives.
Yep, which kicks off on the 12th.
Okay. And if they go to the Facebook page, will there be links to... Okay.
Yep. Oh, yes. Lots and lots of links.
And people can go and like your page and kind of follow along to see what projects are coming up.
Absolutely. We've always got little, local history snippets that we're sharing, events that we have going on. Just off the top of my head, I know that going into September, we're going to have our very popular Treasures from Your Attic event, which is kind of like Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
It's a ton of fun. That will be September 20th. On the 18th of October, we're going to do more Woodlawn tours. And then in November, we're going to be doing a history of St. Titus Church. So there's always a ton going on. And then throw in some free classes and special events that we have. And you don't want to miss out.
Yeah, we advertise our classes. We often have 2 or even sometimes 3 free classes a month on Saturdays. We're open Wednesday and Friday 9 to noon and Saturday 10 to 2. People can walk in. We have staff there who can help with genealogy. We have computers for research, and we have all kinds of other activities there if they want to learn how to do this oral history, if they want to learn how to research genealogy. So and the other thing I wanted to say was that if you have items that you think might be more appropriate to be preserved in our collection, we do accept items very happily from the public. Just bring them in those times that we're open, and we'll have someone do an intake on those items. We're especially looking for older yearbooks.
Oh, okay.
We are looking for, we take memorabilia items, but we love things like diaries and manuscripts, photographs, family items. And if you have a family item that you think is really cool and you don't want to give it away, let us make a copy if it's someone that you think we need to keep part of Titusville history. And we're starting address files, so if you have information on your home so that people later can come in by address and see photographs and see blueprints and that sort of thing.
That's awesome. So if somebody had a question, they could stop in and talk to somebody there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And they can email TitusvilleHistoricalSociety@gmail.com.
Okay. But again, what a great weekend to come in and kind of just take a look around and just have a conversation. It's probably, you're probably not surprised at this point where you are talking to somebody and maybe brings up some memories where they go, oh, yeah, I have a question about this.
Yep, absolutely. Or even just being in the space at the Parkside, since it was the old Y, and so many people come in and they might not have stopped. Maybe they were on their way to the art show, but they stop and they look around and go, oh, wow, I remember being here as a kid.
Yeah.
And then that starts memories because, we tend to think of our history as back in the 1860s and stuff like that, but our history is also the 1970s, the 1980s, and we want to record that as well. And we're really in danger of having a lack of collection items from the 60s onward because people, they don't think of it as history yet, but it very much is.
Yeah, the public historians call that the nostalgia period because it's in the time period that we can remember. And we see that on Facebook posts. The nostalgia era posts are going to get more likes and more interaction than the 19th century items. But then, as you say, because we consider it every day, we don't save these things. So we really need to save. We do also have digital preservation workflows. So if you have digital submissions, old floppy disks, old things that are only on some sort of what we call historic media or older media, we can get that off of there for you.
Oh, wow.
And help to preserve it.
Okay, so I get to tell my wife then maybe she was right that I should throw away my T-shirts from the 90s.
No.
Okay. Depends. Yeah.
Bring them on down. We can talk about it.
Probably the ones that are ripped.
Maybe not those ones.
Make a quilt.
We did have a great collection of Lions Club hats that I cataloged recently.
Oh, wow.
And stuffed in there was a Quality Market hat, and I thought, well, that brought back some memories. And
Wow, I think about that place all the time. It was just so cool. But you're right. I mean, you just like there. It's like I remember, and you start to get excited about that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that personal connection. And the other thing, we have a lot of maps, and people get really excited about looking at how their house looked, and we can help people date their houses. We can give a good approximation of how old their home is, talk to them about house history and deed searches. And then the other projects we have going on, we have some volunteers who are very active in reaching out to local cemeteries, especially the smaller ones. And so if you're one of those administrators out there and you're beginning to struggle and you don't see how you're going to maintain these records, we can help with that. We can help digitize. We can find you a place online. We can help, to stabilize your maps. So
that's wonderful. All right, recap a couple big weeks coming up. What's happening?
All right, Oil Fest weekend. We're going to be open Friday night from 5 to 7. Stop into the Heritage Center, see our Jeannie Seeley exhibit, see our wonderful exhibit gallery and research library. And then Saturday, if you're in town, noon to 5, the Heritage Center is going to be open. But if you are up for hiking around, I know it's going to be 85, but we're pretty good to move from shady part to shady part. Come out to Woodlawn. 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock are the options. The tour is going to last about an hour. We are really leaning into the Heisman and Friends theme, and we have a lot of really great things. If you've been on one of our tours before, there's going to be a lot of new material, and we are really, really looking forward to that.
The tours are free.
Oh, wow.
And the tours are free, and then our regular hours, Wednesday and Friday, 9 to noon, Saturday, 10 to 2.
And if you want to make a donation, you can do that.
Especially during Crawford Gives, starting on the 12th.
Great. Kelly, Rhonda, good to see you. Thank you. Come back and keep us updated on what's going on.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
From Fat Chad's Tap and Steakhouse, we have Chad Koval. From the Titusville Mill, we have Joe Thompson. Good morning, guys. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
All right, what's new and exciting? Busy week this week, huh?
I reckon.
Yeah.
We're hoping for
going back in time here.
Yeah.
So what's happening? There's a lot going on with the Oil Festival this weekend, and you guys are going to be running around like crazy.
Yeah,
we are. It actually it also coincides with the 30th class reunion that Chad and I share. Class of 95.
You've been in school 30 years?
Life is school, Chad. Every day is an education.
So 30 years. Now, you guys are busy during Oil Fest anyways. Then you add the reunion part on top of this. It makes it pretty busy. So what? And you guys just don't sort of sit back. You're highly engaged in this stuff.
Yes.
What do you have planned? What's going on?
Our reunion's Friday night. It's going to be around Founders Park there, 5 to 8. We do have some live music from 6 to 8 with Noah Grice. Joe will have the Mills distillery products up there for sale, and I'll have some of mine out there for sale for the brewery, and hopefully anybody can come. I'm hoping we have a ton of classmates to come. We've only did a couple reunions over the years.
Right. Yeah.
So
we're not a sentimental bunch.
So you don't have to be in the class to participate Friday night?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we want to see as many of our classmates there, but I know there's probably, 5 or 6 other reunions that time. If they want to stop up, and feel free, come and check that side of town out.
Okay. So that's Friday night. Then maybe each of you can talk about what the weekend looks like for you.
Then on Saturday morning, we're hosting at the Titusville Mill just a very nonchalant brunch from 9 till 11. We wanted to get something in where families could participate before the parade.
Oh, nice.
And that'll just be, our brunch menu. If you don't feel like eating, you don't have to. Really, Chad and I have set this up so that, no one is required to expend any resources other than a smile and a handshake if that's all they want.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's Saturday morning.
That's Saturday morning from 9 to 11 at the Titusville Mill on our veranda. Okay. And then
we'll have the parade. What time does the parade start?
11, right?
11?
11.
Yeah.
Okay. Then later in the afternoon we'll have the Titusville Beer Fest starting at 4 with Chris Higby, as the entertainer. We do have 17 vendors along with Joe and the mill. Try to support everybody local, and hopefully we get a lot of attendees there. But nobody in our class is absolutely required to come. It's just open for anybody. Yeah. And hopefully everybody can follow up later evening, down at another place, maybe the mill, or for after hours. You never know.
Now, Chris Higby, no rafters in town, but there's you put a rope up or something. He's going to do some sort of high wire.
Yeah, he loves
crane.
Yeah, crane. Bring them in, swing them in, or something. Yeah.
Well, last year I had the fire truck with the boom truck.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This year I just kind of told him I'm pulling my old truck in the park. He can climb up in the back.
Okay. All right. So normal entrance.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. Joe, you started to adopt some of that with your playing, right?
I have, yeah. I use the guitar as like a broomstick, and I fly around on it, Harry Potter style.
Yeah.
And do a little Quidditch match.
So Friday, Saturday, extremely busy. Now, should they get tickets ahead of time? Is that for, let's say, the Beer Fest?
They can get tickets at the door for Beer Fest if they want.
All right.
So, and I do have DD tickets available for $10 to come in.
Okay. And then Friday night, just come and enjoy.
Very casual, very open. Yes. No reservations needed.
Yeah, Joe's going to put out, I'm going to put out just some pretzels and cheese for anybody can snack on. You're doing a charcuterie board?
Charcuterie, yes. And some dips.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
So, yeah, we just want to, we just want to see, a lot of people in our classmates.
Yeah.
Which is...
Well, these types of things, I know people coming from out of town look and go, okay, what's the weather going to be like? Like, now, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great weekend, so...
It's been a really humid, wet, nasty summer. So it's nice that August has opened up some really nice high pressure weather.
Yeah. I haven't checked the weather today. I usually check it every day, but last time I seen it was like 83 to 85 on Saturday. Yeah, it's gonna be. There it is, 86 now. Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be
raggy.
Beautiful, yeah.
It's getting hotter.
So a lot to check out over the weekend. Chad, we'll start with you. Kind of just run through some things that people can experience at Fat Chad's this weekend?
I mean, this is a very hit or miss weekend. I mean, for us, because there's everything going on in the park and all that.
Yeah.
I know Friday we're still doing prime rib, but I won't be doing any wild game.
Well, and for both of you, because of everything that's going on, normal business hours, can people still come to Fat Chad's, the Titusville Mill?
Normal business hours for, I believe, both of us, but, just...
Because I've heard people ask that, like, there's so much going on, can we still go in and...
Well, we are actually going to be open earlier on Saturday. Usually we open at 10, we'll be open at 9 on Saturday.
For the
but we'll be open for business.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
Yep, then, I'm just focused, kind of for our outside events and what, Joe and I are putting together for Friday night. I'm actually really excited for it. So
okay,
and then we have karaoke Saturday night at the Mill, starting at 8 o'clock. So you go drink your hearts out at Chad's Beer Fest, and then come
unwind and
come hydrate and perhaps get a snack.
Everybody sings better after 5 or 6.
They sound better.
They sound better.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And obviously, the Ironworks has its all-school reunion, and the Magic Bus Kitchen will be open for that. Serving tacos and burgers and.
Yep. The all-school reunion Friday also.
Yeah, it's Friday night.
Yeah,
it's Friday night. Yeah, it's Friday night.
Yeah, I think for the most part, everything's sort of designed to just kind of flow. So people should know they can come up your way and see you guys up there on Friday night. And again, you don't have to be part of the class to get in. So that's probably the important thing for people to know.
I mean, that's what we want. Everybody to go everywhere and have a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So normal business hours, and then Sundays.
Sunday brunch at the Mill, starting at 10. We're open until 4. Chad's got his deal.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we're open from noon to 5 on Sunday. Just normal weekend hours.
And for those of you who maybe are overwhelmed by the festivities that are occurring in Titusville over the course of Oil Festival, there is the Ghost Town Music Fest down at Big Rail Brewing on Saturday, and I'm participating in that as a musician starting at 1 o'clock.
Wow.
That's hosted by Tyler Smilo and the Ghost. There's going to be some great names on that. Tommy Prine being one of them, Matt Texter from Erie, and then some other national acts are going to be on there. And the Magic Bus food truck will be down there slinging burgers, fries, tacos, and I think Taylor Coulter, our chef, has some surprises up his sleeve for the denizens, tuning their ears to that.
Okay. So it's been... Well, it's going to be a busy weekend then for everybody. You've had a couple busy weekends with just performing.
Yes.
Oil Heritage, Thunder in the City?
Thunder in the City, and then I was up at with the bus company up at Twisted Elk in Fairview, Lake City, on Saturday. Saturday was a 2-gig day. It was nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And then, Chad, again, both of you guys support local artists and invite them in to perform at your establishments, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Is that important? Joe, I know you have the music background. I know it's important to you. Chad, is it also important to you to support that?
It is important to me because I like to do everything for the town as much as I can. So if we have a local artist, I'd rather have them come in and play instead of going somewhere else and play.
Yeah.
Keep in town and show off their talent for the home people.
All right, let's recap Friday and Saturday. Friday.
Yep.
Reunion at Founders Park, hosted by Fat Chad's and the Titusville Mill. What's that, 5 to 8?
5 to 8.
5 to 8. Cocktails by the Mill, brewskis by Chad's. There'll be some light bites to eat there. All school reunion, of course, is taking place that night as well at the Ironworks. And then Saturday, the class brunch, class 95 brunch at the Titusville Mill, 9 to 11 parade, and then
4 to 8 for Beer Fest. We do have 17 different brewery vendors coming, so
okay.
distilleries, wineries, cideries. So
bringing a canteen of water.
Yeah.
Some electrolytes.
Yep.
Can you list them all?
I can. Just check out the Facebook page. I have been posting them.
Okay, so yeah, and that's a good point. Go to Fat Chad's and Titusville Mill to get all the details. And then Sunday, you two will probably be like wandering around like zombies a little bit.
We both have busy Sundays as well.
Yeah,
I actually got to help move Brock and Jackson in the camp.
Oh, wow.
On Sunday morning.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's going to be a long weekend.
Yeah, but a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, guys, good luck.
Thanks for the
see you around.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, all the best.
Firefighters' efforts to contain France's biggest wildfire in almost 80 years dragged on into a third day on Thursday, which has so far ravaged over 37,000 acres in Aude, an area larger than Paris. The fire has claimed one life in Saint-Laurent-de-la-Cabrieris, destroyed at least 25 homes, and displaced residents and tourists. Prime Minister François Bayrou called the situation unprecedented as he visited the area.
It was very important for us to be there because the disaster is a disaster of unprecedented scale. It was very important because hundreds, thousands of people feel that their most precious possessions, their homes, their vineyards have been affected.
Nearly 2,000 firefighters are battling the blaze, and officials say it is spreading rapidly at just over 3 miles per hour. Scientists say the Mediterranean region's hotter, drier summers increase the risk of wildfires. Nearby Spain is enduring a prolonged heat wave with temperatures reaching 43 degrees Celsius, fueling its own wildfires. In Tarifa, a blaze sparked by a caravan fire reignited because of gusty winds and high temperatures. Campsite owner Diego Rodriguez lost everything.
All of my belongings were burnt, everything. I only have what I'm wearing. I don't have anything to go on.
In Portugal, over 42,000 hectares have burned this year, with more than half of the damage occurring in the past 2 weeks. Once fires start, plentiful dry vegetation and strong winds in the region can cause them to spread rapidly and burn out of control. Scientists say climate change exacerbates this risk by creating hotter and drier background conditions.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
United Airlines flights at U.S. airports were briefly grounded on Wednesday. The company says it has now fixed the tech issue that caused it. In a statement, United said, quote, "We've resolved technology issues that have been affecting flights. While we're still experiencing delays, our team is working to restore our normal operations." The issue came weeks after Alaska Airlines grounded flights for 3 hours in its second IT outage in just over a year. According to the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, the hours-long outage caused ground stops at major United Hub airports, including Newark, Denver, Houston, and Chicago. Flight tracking data service FlightAware showed 34% of United flights had been delayed by the incident as of late Wednesday evening on the U.S. East Coast. United said the issue was with its Unimatic system, which feeds flight data to systems for weight, balance, and tracking. It also said it would cover customer expenses like hotels for delays caused by the tech issue. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said in a post on X that the issue was limited to United and unrelated to air traffic control.
Sony raised its full-year operating profit forecast on Thursday. It now sees a rise of 4% to reach just over $9 billion. The Japanese tech giant expects a smaller impact from President Trump's trade war than previously thought. Sony projects a tariff hit of just under $477 million, well down from an estimate of $680 million it made in May. The company said the new numbers are based on tariff rates as of August, but cautioned the situation was still fluid. Sony also said it sees a stronger profit outlook at its games business. The group reported a 36.5% rise in operating profit to $2.3 billion for the April-June quarter, well ahead of analyst forecasts. It sold 2.5 million PlayStation 5 game consoles in the first quarter, up 4% from a year earlier. Quarterly operating profit of the games business more than doubled to around $1 billion. It was due to higher sales of network services and games not made by Sony. Investors liked what they heard, and company shares jumped 5% in afternoon Asian trade.
Excited this morning to have not one, Not two, but all three Crawford County Commissioners. We've got Mr. Scott Schell, Mr. Eric Henry, and Mr. Christopher Seeley with us here this morning. Good morning, guys. Good to see you this morning.
How are you?
I was going to start out by asking all these really tough questions, and then it dawned on me. I was out last night, and somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, who's on the show tomorrow?" And I said, "Oh, we're going to have all three commissioners." They're like, "Oh, that's great. What does a commissioner do?" And I thought, well, there's a lot of people that ask that. I'm sure sometimes they ask you, what does a commissioner, what is their role?
Frankly, yeah.
Well, they've said that.
On a regular basis, I ask each of these two every day. What do you guys do?
What do you do?
I just thought maybe that's a good place to start. A quick rundown of what the responsibilities are as a commissioner.
I'll start just because we've kind of delegated from the beginning, but we manage the departments in county government that aren't managed by elected officials. And we also, of course, handle the budget. And so each of us have divvied up those different departments. We kind of stay in our own lanes. We really don't want to do too much on those sections. So if there's an IT issue or a planning issue, Chris will handle that. Scott does the 911 center in the jail. So anytime someone calls into the office, you're going to get the commissioner who oversees that department. It doesn't mean that we're all not going to talk about the problem, but that person, that commissioner is responsible for grabbing each of us. So.
Yeah, is that something that is pretty quick to go through to kind of divvy up those tasks? Or is it like, or sometimes you come across something where maybe a couple of you go, boy, I'd like to tackle that.
I think that's kind of how it happened this time. Historically, it hasn't always been that way. This kind of began with the prior board.
I was going to say,
but yeah, it's worked out really well. We tried to play to our own strengths, our own backgrounds, our own interests, frankly, and kind of what we're good at, a rapport with those department heads, that kind of thing, and it's been a good workable model.
Yeah, Scott, is that part luck or just part voters saying, boy, when we vote for somebody, they have this background? Yeah, that's nice that every commissioner is a little different.
A lot of people do know your background. Eric's got an extensive history in EMS. Eric's well known in our county for EMS. I've more than 2 decades worked for the county anyhow in the coroner's office. Chris has worked for at least a decade in the auditor's office. Everybody kind of knows that we all have a background that is probably pretty helpful for the positions that we hold. But when it comes down to picking and choosing what you're going to be in charge of, I have a special interest in emergency services, which we talked about before. So does Eric, but Eric's got a great business mind. Chris seems to be able to handle people in technical areas that I can't handle. So it just all fell into place.
Yeah, it's great. So over halfway through the years, it's crazy to think it's like downhill slide. You guys are going to be thinking budget again, but at what point do you kind of say, okay, hey, everything we talked about a year ago and planning the budget, it's working out, or, boy, I tell you what, all the stuff came up and we're a little off course. Does that come up? Do you have these discussions?
I just think from experience, in a second term and all the budgets we've been through, and these guys have been really great about it. But to be honest with you, if you don't think about the budget all year long, is when you get in trouble. I will say yesterday we had an elected official in our office and willing to hold a position open for the end of the year to save us some money and then review it with us. And that's all we ask from people, is to look at our perspective. It was a nice meeting to have no contentiousness about it and to actually save us some money. But when we want to do a project or add personnel or make investments, we have to think about what September and October look like, because we have to answer the CFO, and sometimes those are tough discussions if she doesn't know what we're doing throughout the year either. So it really is an all year process for me. So
yeah, you don't have that crystal ball to look into, but do you get to this point, Chris, and say, boy, you know what, we did all right?
Yeah, and I think by and large we tend to. As Eric said, we try to be budget minded year round. And that was kind of one of the benefits with Scott and I coming in with our backgrounds in county government, as we sat through our own budget meetings. Yeah. So we know how this process goes, and now that's ballooned out to the whole county as our roles have changed. But so we kind of know the ropes coming in. So you were always conscientious even mid-year through, and in our department prior, I would look at how we were doing halfway through the year, and we'd kind of check on it almost quarterly to say, okay, well, how are we landing on things? And if something was going to be out of line, giving the commissioners and the finance department a heads up was always kind of in our favor, because then there were no nasty surprises come September, October when we sit down with them and they say, well, what is this and how did this happen? They knew about it in advance, so it just kind of made things a little better. We ask our department heads to do the same thing. Just keep your eyes on things. We know there's always going to be externalities. There's going to be things that happen that you cannot prevent. things that are actions. We may ask a department to take on a new project, and that takes staff and that takes money to do it. So we try to be conscientious of that as well. But it's a constantly moving target, but we do our best to keep on it.
And I'm sure you have people like the department heads that come in and say, hey, remember last year when I said we could probably get through another year of this? You know, hey, it's going to be a year. We might need
I think that happened to me 5 times.
Chris has the most notorious department for that. So the IT department, they have a nice term called end of life.
End of life. Yes. We're going to put them on. That's going to be in all their obituaries.
Sometimes when our meetings are done, we'd like it to be the end of life for them because that's what they do. But that goes from like right now. Chris is working on a website. You wouldn't think about things as minor as a website, but it's an expense, and it does reach end of life. Our phones are new, so there's a lot of different things that Windows 11 used to be the last problem.
11, even digital storage, things like that. It's like, you save things to your computer. That doesn't just go nowhere. It has to live somewhere. And those expenses, things like built-in obsolescence and advancing technologies, we're constantly chasing our tails on.
It seems like everything's expensive from that.
Everything's expensive.
Well, it's funny and not funny. It's the same with us. And some of these companies don't even tell you. Like, we found out one of our main pieces of equipment we use for streaming, like, away games, obsolete. It's just out of the blue. And it wasn't until we were about ready to do an event where it wasn't working, and I called and they're like, oh yeah, we don't support that anymore. You're going to have to buy a new one for
Thanks
this
for the
year.
heads up.
Yeah,
right.
$7,000.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. What do? You got to go back to the budget, right, and say, okay, time to find it somewhere.
Need some more sponsors.
Working on that.
Yeah. That's right.
So, do you have that luxury sometimes to reach out to the community to say, hey, the county's in need of help with this project. Can somebody step up?
So I think where we're really good at that is when we deal with, like, I'll use Westmead Township, for example, where I reside. Mark Phelan's our maintenance director. He does a great job of sharing services. They have equipment that we don't have, so they'll bring their larger equipment to the fairgrounds to help with ditch work or pavement work or gravel work, whatever we need to do with them. And in return, we store their vehicles for them as kind of a shared services system, and he's really good about that. He obviously knows a lot of people like that, but we try to find alternatives. We actually talk to other commissioner colleagues in other parts of the state too, because why would we want to reinvent stuff that might work good somewhere else too?
Sure. And in the planning office, they're pretty good at chasing down marshaling corporate funding. So in the event, we have a couple programs underway for workforce training, buying new equipment for Crawford Tech, and so we can train more CNC machinists and that sort of thing. And the county provides sort of this program, and we find matching funds for it. Sometimes it's from the county. In many cases it isn't. It's from local businesses, things like Accutech and whatnot, that are able to pony up a little bit of money and invest in something that they find worthwhile because it's only going to help them. So there are instances where we can essentially go to the community and say, this is what we want to do.
Right.
And we're kind of looking at something similar on emergency services with tower usage.
Right.
Hey, you've, I think, encouraged outside communities, municipalities to utilize some of those services and expertise in those offices where, again, I think I'll use Titusville as an example where maybe in the past they thought, okay, these are the only things we can do with this grant money. They call the office and they say, oh, no, you can do, how about this, this, and this? And that just opens the door to all sorts of possibilities.
Absolutely.
So always there, it's important just to place that phone call and have a conversation, right? Can they contact you and sit down with the commissioner and work out, and I'm talking about like a municipality, say, hey, who should we be talking to?
I think the most important thing, and Scott will tell you this, he has gone far and away to find contact information for people when it comes to those. But we'll take any call from anybody, and we try to find the resource. We cannot fix your potholes on your township road or your state road, but we'll get you a phone number who to talk to because we want to make sure that they have access. I think that's important. Scott's been good about that. So.
Yeah, we get an awful lot of phone calls, the three of us, from the people who complain about their potholes. Their bridges falling apart. Their traffic light doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one, yeah.
We don't cover that. That belongs to the municipality. But we'll find you somebody to talk to, or we'll relay a message to whoever.
Are people understanding for the most part, or do they think no, you're just passing the buck?
Yeah, 50-50.
I think a lot of people understand, and a lot of people think. Apparently, we have a superpower over every municipality.
Yeah, but you run the county, don't you? Yeah, but not all of it. Like I can't tell your mayor what to do.
So when you get to August and you're looking at the rest of this month and the year, we're going to get to the fair and some fun stuff here in a moment. But what are some things that are on your agenda? What are some things that people who might not be paying attention to the meetings, either watching them or showing up in person, what are some things that are going on with the commissioners?
And I think for Chris, to start with elections, where you're starting now, because that's important.
Sure, absolutely. And of course, we always talk elections when I come up here, and that's a constant process.
I'm taking a blue pill for mine.
That's right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's right. I hope the FCC is winning. Yeah. So, but we're always in the process of recruiting poll workers. We're always in the process of reevaluating our polling sites. And it's like, all right, well, it's looking like we're going to have to move a couple this year. Fairly minor moves, and we haven't announced it officially yet. We have to do that through official action at meetings, so we will be doing that soon. But that's always a process. We have new funding streams coming into the election office from the state that we're trying to adjust to and determine how that should be best allocated, and building a process within on how to track it. So there's always some heavy lifting there. But and that's always an ongoing thing. But as we're looking down, many people might not think, well, yeah, we're 3 months out of an election, but that's not as long as you think. You might not see a lot of campaigning and everything happening yet, but the processes within that administer that election are always on high alert.
I just talked to Jack Lynch the other day, so I mean it's in the air. And with the fair coming up, it is in the air. That's usually like the unofficial kickoff of everything.
You bet.
So is that lack of locations or lack of volunteers that kind of force these changes?
Well, for polling places specifically, a lot of times it has to do with access. There may be a handicap accessibility issue. So all of our polling locations have to be ADA compliant, Americans with Disabilities Act, and by and large they are. But sometimes it's not always ideal. There might be a parking issue. There might be access from the road where it chokes a traffic thoroughfare or what have you. And so we're always trying to avoid that. And particularly what 2024 taught us, and it tends to be typical in presidential years when the turnout is higher, that polling places can be inundated with people. I mean, in any given precinct, I'm from the beautiful little town of Linesville. I think we have like 700 some odd registered voters. I've never seen 700 people show up, but in a 75% election, you're going to have over 500 people thereabouts. So it can get really busy, and so we kind of have to build our polling locations based on the worst possible scenario, if that kind of makes sense. But in the recruiting of volunteers, there have been situations in the past where in the city of Meadville and some of the Titusville precincts on, I think it was the prior board, consolidated some of the polling places because of just lack of poll workers at the end of the day. And it's been working well, but that's always the danger, is that if you don't have polling workers, you can't have polling places, and you have to start to get creative on how you do it.
Is it easier to have one location? Is that where it's going to eventually end up? Just each community will have like one location, do you think, or is it?
We don't like to necessarily speculate. I think right now in the city of Titusville, it is co-located. All three precincts are voting in the same place. So it's not necessarily one location exactly. It's three locations that happen to be in the same building, I think is the best.
Is that more like, though, a church pew where we've sat here forever? And
that's a really good way to put it.
You're driving across town to get groceries. You can drive to a location. And I think CATA has stepped up offering transportation. So that's... It shouldn't be an issue if it has to be done that way. So, but other locations, Meadville, you said there might be some changes there.
Nothing this year.
Okay.
Nothing this year. It's been working really well. Essentially, at one point, they kind of consolidated a couple of the smaller ones into the larger precincts, and it's been working okay. But there's always what happens if you have an 85% turnout and no one can find a place to park. Now you have a much bigger issue. So, but finding locations to host can be really quite difficult. Okay. We can use schools and churches and that sort of thing, but even those have their own issues at times, so we just have to be ever vigilant and ever creative about how we handle it.
Okay. Eric, for you, what are you working on?
So the biggest thing is, I think it's important, I'm going to have Scott talk about it because it's from the prison side, but when people ask what we do, sometimes we not create our own problems, but we find new problems to get into. And one of the things that we're working on with the jail, I'll let Scott talk about a little bit, is we actually just created a committee for a mental health task force. We have a huge problem in the jail, and Scott can talk about why we're here, what we're going to do, but those are the things we create that normally we wouldn't be doing in September, but now we're going to do at the end of September with the president, judge, and people like that. But Scott, if you want to talk about the jail a little bit, it's important, I think.
Right now, that if you follow statistics everywhere, usually about 50 to 60% of the people incarcerated right now are mentally ill people. And it causes quite a problem. You got to keep them separated from the bulk of the population at the correction facility, and it's just so they have them in individual holding cells, and we're getting overcrowded with mental health problems. As Eric said, we're trying to get together to see what all the options are, because what's affecting us is corrections officers. We're losing corrections officers because they're going to work and getting basically beat up, not just physically but mentally every day from mentally ill people, and they just can't take the pressure. So we're all working together on that ordeal, just to see if we can't come up with a solution. And like I said, the president judge is involved, the district attorney's involved, the sheriff's involved, the three of us.
So this isn't just something, hey, let's talk about it and discuss. This is, hey, something needs to happen.
Something needs to happen here, and
wow.
But we're not unique to that. It's happening everywhere.
Okay. So. And is that something where you invite the community to attend a meeting and bring up ideas, or do you?
Parts of the community, obviously people who have a specialty in that, of course, we try to get those, and the human services side of it. But certainly we're open for any suggestions from anybody.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. We got all three commissioners with us here today. Switching gears, Crawford County Fair, just right around the corner. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, and I got to say that we have a really good fair board. They're doing a great job. Dean Maynard's the president. He does a great job with his people. But the most important thing is that they're a working board, and they all, like, I've never seen any board in the time I've been a commissioner that they are all hands on deck. I mean, they are working every day to try and create a product. Now, I always tell everybody, you may not like the product yourself particularly, but our goal is we have to make sure it's financially and fiscally responsible, which is what they're doing. There's a concert this year for the first time in a couple of years. Tyler Braden. A lot of people say, I don't know who that guy is. I tell them to Google him. I said he's actually got some #1 hits on Sirius Radio and a different components through Nashville. We're trying something new, but people say, why aren't you bringing a famous person here? Why aren't you bringing the top end people? And to be honest with you, they're $400,000 and $500,000. The fair doesn't have $400,000, $500,000 in their accounts. They need $200,000 to start the fair. And so we all support the fair board and what they're doing. We try to give them all the support they can, and I think it's really working. So I'm excited about the fair. I think they're ready to go, but it is a busy time. Scott and I are going to have to do EMS and do both county stuff as the same thing. Chris is actually in charge of the Rotary booth, so he's got to cover a lot of the shift to take care of it. So if you need us, get a hot sausage or get injured. We'll come injured.
We'll be there. Yeah. Choke on a hot sausage.
Or eat a hot sausage. Yeah.
You didn't say eat a gerbil.
Yeah.
Okay, don't.
That's right.
And are you dressing up and doing the clown thing inside the track for the rodeo? No, you're not.
Oh, yeah, no. We missed that call.
Yeah,
we were out
geez.
that day.
Yeah.
The dunking booth was bad enough last year.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Was it a cold that day? Or?
It was frigidly cold,
yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the fair isn't fiscally responsible like that, then we just don't have a fair, right?
That's it.
So that's.
I mean, the county commissioners are the backstop financially for them. So it's important for them to do what they can to make a little bit of money and to make improvements to the fairgrounds. But yeah, without any kind of end to it, there would be no fair, and none of us want that. So.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, the West End Stage is a great place. They have a lot of local entertainment that goes on there, and again, it kind of goes back to the whole, local people doing great things, whether it's 4-H, whether it's musicians, whether it's people doing the derby. I mean, it's just bringing the county and surrounding areas together. So that's what it's about. And you walk around, you get great food, you see people you haven't seen maybe since last year's fair, and you pick up with conversation right where you left off. It's incredible. But real quick, everybody loves this question for some reason. When I ask like food items, what your favorite, and I ask you guys all the time, I know. Yep. But we'll start with you, Scott. What are the things you have to have when you're at the fair?
Oh, undoubtedly. Well, of course, I have to have the hot sausage sandwich.
He's got a gun pointed at him under the table.
He's going to shoot me. But that you definitely have to have that, and ice cream Got to have it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm sure Francis is excited somebody picked up that torch of the ice cream. So, because that was his go-to. Right. Eric, how about you?
I really like to be honest with you, there's some local staples. I mean, the Randolph Fire Department booth is great. I mean, they're very well known for their wings. Of course, you can get a good price for that. East Mead has really good hot sausages and wings. I really like to help the local departments, and I'd be honest with you, they put a lot of time and effort in, so it's good for them. But I have to go with Scott. Like unfortunately for us, the first aid booth is within a stone's throw of the ice cream booth, so it's there and it's accessible, and it becomes a problem. So I mean, but yeah, that's mine. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So of course, Rotary food. I eat it all week. So, but other than that, again, I think Eric mentioned it. The Randolphs, the East Meads, the volunteer groups that are up there doing that. I believe in their mission, but the food they prepare is just so darn good. Was it Curly's, the rotisserie chickens?
Yes.
Man, you just walk by and says, "All right, I got to get at that."
The local couple.
But but what I love doing is kind of one of the hidden gems of the fairgrounds is going up to the dairy barn and getting breakfast, especially. Oh boy, they have such a good food booth up there, and it's dirt cheap, good food, and again, it's supporting a great thing. So
I think the one thing too, because people forget about this, we should give her a shout out. Is Brenda Bizarre runs Caden's Kitchen, which is down by the 4-H horse ring. The nice thing about Brenda and the Caden's Kitchen is, if you get tired of fair food, she has a daily special,
like a blue plate special.
Could be goulash, chicken and biscuits, meatloaf, and mashed potatoes. Like that's a hidden gem people don't know about. Of course, people don't talk about it much because they don't want you to come down and steal their thunder. But she makes quite a daily special. It's a good price.
But like I say, it's where the locals eat at the fair.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Now, former Commissioner Soff is the kettle corn guy, so you might see him. Now, will people see you guys out and about during the week?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
All right. Are you okay with people coming up asking you questions?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what they pay us for. So.
Okay. Good to see you. All the best.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming in this morning.
Have a good day.